I am TOMsavage, welcome back to my channel. Thank you very much for coming back, thank you very much for your patience because it has been some time. I think it's been the best part of a year, 11 months, 12 months since I last put something out on YouTube. We were slightly active over on Instagram, YouTube, literally nothing. So today is going to be the first video back. I'm going to sort of explain why I've been away. It's something that I wasn't going to do, but the week that we're in at the moment is the perfect time. It's the fitting time to actually sit down and talk about this. So that's what we're going to do. I haven't got a plan as such for this video. I don't know where it's going to go. There's no real structure to what I'm going to say and how I'm going to say it. It's just sort of in here and it's just going to come out, and we'll make the most of what we can in post. And if the confidence allows, then you'll be watching this right now. So thanks for your patience, thanks for bearing with me. Now, as you've probably sort of half guessed by the title of this video and the part that we've included right at the very start, for those of you that don't know, this week is Mental Health Awareness Week, which is fantastic. It's fantastic that we've got a week that is dedicated to the awareness of mental health, although it's something that shouldn't be condensed down to a week. It's a 52 weeks a year type deal, 365 days. It's fantastic that there is that week where we can dedicate and raise awareness and talk about mental health openly, with hopes of educating people that perhaps are not aware of mental health as much as others. So it's fantastic that we have this opportunity. So with it being National Mental Health Week, I thought I would take this opportunity to come back and explain why I've been as absent as I have from YouTube, and talk about my own personal experiences regarding mental health as a whole. So I've been away from YouTube for, as we say, around 11 months, 12 months, the best part of a year, with very little activity. There's been bits and pieces over on Instagram, but in terms of YouTube and the videos and everything we had planned, it's literally been completely null void and non-existent. Now, one of the biggest reasons for this was this crazy, unprecedented time that we're living through in terms of COVID and the pandemic. My real life job, if you like, became incredibly demanding back in February, March 2020, and for the last year and however long it's been, year and few months, it has dominated an incredibly large part of my life and an incredibly large part of my time, which is taking me away from every other outlet that I have, whether it be the playing cards, the deception, the photography, and even simply taking 5 minutes for myself and doing something that I like doing and I enjoy. Now, alongside the pandemic, there's also been some developments in terms of myself, specifically mental health. I have suffered with mental health issues, problems, whatever you want to call it, since 2008, and have only recently been brought to light that that's what it is, and that's what I've been dealing with for all these years, and it's the reason that I've been feeling the way I do, and that was because I finally personally reached a point where I had to reach out for help and support, and I went to the necessary places, and I myself received an education as such on mental health and what it actually is, and these explanations as to why I felt the way I do and have felt the way I've felt since 2008. I was recently diagnosed with a mixed anxiety disorder and chronic reactive depression. Now, this is some quite heavy wording, and when it came out and when it was put to me by the professionals, the the people that I was seeking help from, it came as quite a shock, and it was something incredibly difficult to digest. It took me a long time, but on further conversations and further understanding, everything that was said to me began to make a little bit more sense, and the way that I have been feeling for years and years, and exhausting myself and wondering why I feel this way and not understanding it and not knowing how to tackle it, suddenly started to make sense to me, and the path that you need to take to overcome and learn how to control these thoughts, feelings, emotions is starting to become a lot clearer, and I'm able to start taking those steps. Now, one of the things I sort of want to cover in this video is the steps as such in terms of what we do. Now, I am a believer in sorts of a problem shared is a problem halved. I think if you're feeling a certain way, there is no shame in reaching out for help. If you feel that you're struggling and you're not sure where to take yourself, there may be someone else out there that's able to provide you with that information and point you in the right direction. Now, don't get me wrong, this isn't something that you cure. There is no cure for this. It's not going to be a case that you reach out to someone, you have a conversation, and then that's it, everything's sorted and you're back to your normal self, back to your normal life. That's not how this works. But you are presented with a range of different options that help you control whatever it is that's causing you these difficulties. The human mind is an incredibly powerful tool, something that I've not ignored but underestimated perhaps over these years. It can be used for many great things, and the mind has a lot of power to take you to do things that you may have only dreamt of doing, but at the same time, if it's allowed to run away with itself, it will. And when it does, it's something that's incredibly hard to retract and pull back. Now, sometimes, as I say, by reaching out and talking to someone and receiving some level of support, that can help pull this back and start to learn how to control what's going on inside. Not always the case, but it's that positive first step in a better direction. Not necessarily the right direction, but a better direction than what you're in at the moment. Now, it's not always a case that reaching out to people and talking to people is the right solution for everybody. I myself I'm someone that struggles tremendously in terms of putting my feelings out into the open. I find it difficult to talk about my emotions and everything that's happened previously that's led me to this point and led me to feeling the way that I do at this time. So reaching out and talking to people isn't the best option for everyone, and that's okay. It's something that I think needs to be normalised. Feels like a bad word, but for lack of a better word, it's something that needs to be normalised, that if you are feeling this way and you are someone that is struggling with their own mental health, you haven't got to reach out to someone there. I'm a person that thrives more when they're alone, when they're by themselves, and I have a multitude of different vices that I'm able to use to my advantage to help control what's going on up here. Now, those vices for me, it's music, it's playing cards, it's deception, and that's something that I've not done for, obviously, as you guys at YouTube, you're aware, I haven't done for over a year, and it's a vice that I've almost disrespected and ignored, and it's not until I did sit down with someone and have a conversation that I realised how important that this is, how important it is to turn the camera on and make a video on something deception related, or how important it is to sit by myself even for 10 minutes and listen to some music and practice a few shuffles. It's just taking that time for yourself and recognising that you have to respect yourself and your own mind, and take that time out, regardless of the repercussions that has on other people and the impact that has on other people around you. There comes a point where you have to take that time out for yourself. And that's something that I've ignored tremendously for the last year, and just became, and just reached a point where I now understand how important it is that I do that, and how important it is for myself that I do that, or I end up in the position that I've been in for the last 12 months. Now, in terms of what I'm going through and what's happened to me, that's not something that I'm going to sit here and discuss for two reasons. Firstly, as discussing earlier, I'm not a person that's able to convey what's going on up here and let it come out here and explain it. It just doesn't work like that for me. That's how I am. It doesn't happen like that for me. Secondly, because those issues are my own, it's not a video of looking for sympathy and looking for someone to tell me what to do. These are my own demons, and it's for me to understand, and for me to walk a path of rehabilitation and learning how to control these different things that are happening. So that's for me to deal with. That's not what we're here to discuss. The main part, I think, the message that I want to get across today in this video is just, if you are someone like myself that's feeling this way, and you have struggled with your mental health, maybe specifically through the pandemic and the whole lockdown scenarios, maybe before, and like me, you've carried that through the pandemic and sort of been dealing with that on the top, just remember to sit and take 5 minutes for yourself. Remember those things that you do for yourself, and things that you like doing. Find yourself that vice that takes you away from your everyday life. As I say, for me, it's playing cards and deception, and this is not a video of me saying go and buy yourself a deck of playing cards and learn how to bottom deal and everything's going to be fine. The bottom deal will probably make you worse. If we're honest, magicians watching this will understand. But just find yourself your own vice, something that you can do, something that takes you away from that everyday situation. Maybe it's exercise or sport. Maybe it's music. Maybe you're an artist. Maybe you like to draw. Maybe you like to paint. Whatever it is, even if it's a simple grab the dog, go for a walk somewhere nice, be outside in the fresh air, in the open. Anything you can do to take yourself out of your own head and just allow everything to process and digest, and help highlight that direction to the better path. Not the right path, but the better path. We can never be sure that the path we take is going to be the right one, but as long as it highlighted itself as the better one at that point, it doesn't matter where that leads, so long as you start walking along it. Now, as I say, there was no real sort of direction, no real structure to this video. I don't know exactly where it's going. There was just some thoughts in my head that I wanted to discuss and wanted to explain, and just continue the great work that's already been done by many people in bringing this focus to mental health, and helping progress that understanding for people that perhaps have never experienced it and don't know how to approach a situation if they know someone perhaps that's suffering with their own mental health. It's a video that I've thought about making for quite a few years, never really knew how to approach it, but because of how things have been sort of recently for me, and the support that I've received, and the diagnosis that I was given, and the fact that we are just drawing towards the end of National Mental Health Awareness Week, it just felt like the right time. So if you're still here and you're still listening to this, then thank you very much. It means a lot to me. Now, to wrap this video up, if you are someone at the moment that you are struggling with your mental health, or maybe you're just having a few maybe negative thoughts, or something that's not quite yourself, then reach out. Let's have a conversation. Use the comment section below. Head over to my Instagram. The link will be somewhere probably in the description. Head over there. Drop me a direct message. Let's have a conversation, and let's continue to do to progress the incredible work that's already been done in terms of making this something that is spoken about, and making it something that's more approachable, and making people aware that that support is out there for them to take advantage of if they feel that they need it. But as for now, thank you very much for sticking with me. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for listening. I'll leave with a quote that I had come across when I was dealing with things recently that changed my outlook on the way that I was looking at myself and everything that I'd gone through, and that is, it's been said that the damaged become dangerous because we know we can survive. I am Tom Savage. I'll see you next time.